Hey, Webby.
What?
We're doing it again.
Doing what?
Taking everybody to Gen Con.
Okay, you guys have fun.
You coming this time too, you big angry panda bear?
How?
Because they're going to help us.
Who's they? The listeners?
Yep. If you guys would like to help us get to Gen Con, then join us June 23rd for our live stream fundraiser. We'll be giving away prizes and just having a ball all day. There'll be exclusives that won't be available ever again after this stream.
Not to mention the cocktail wheel. That thing has gotten an overhaul. You thought last year was rough? Oh, dude, watching you guys on that video, not good. Wait until you see what is in store this year.
Webby, that's not it. We're introducing a scavenger hunt, the Distractions Media style. You can also contribute to that and send us looking for your favorite pop culture fandom.
And it all kicks off June 23rd at noon Eastern. Come join the Distractions Media crew and help us get to Gen Con so we can grow and see you guys.
I heard the horses in India are pretty fun.
It's fucked up. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Dungeons and Distractions. I'm your host, Webby. DM, Webby, not host. Well, they're both kind of the same thing. Anyway, join me tonight. We got Anthony.
Hello, I'm Anthony. I play Astonis.
And we got Austin.
I'm Austin and I play Talon, and I got a badass kitty cat named Zidane.
And we got Chris.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and I play Talon.
And we got John.
Hello, everyone, and I play Brenna.
And we got Mr. Rob Edquist.
Hi, guys. I'm Rob, and I play Tripp, the Demon Dread Knight.
All right. Talon.
Yeah.
Because of some stuff that was happening before this recording. Why don't you go ahead and give us a recording session?
What did he say? What did he say?
It
Tell
was
us
weird.
what happened last time.
What happened last time?
We did a plan. We tried to have
Keep going.
we tried to have a plan. And then Astonis blew a horn and summoned a royal guardian for his royalty. He's a royal. He's a prince. And this lady came and she was going to help us fight this devil. We confronted him before Balin's trial. She kicked him out of a wall into a coliseum, turned into a dragon. He turned into a devil. We fought him, and we held person on him when you're only supposed to hold monster on him, but we still killed him anyway. And now he disappeared with everything. He killed Edquist and disappeared with his body and all his shit.
He did not disappear with all of his stuff. So what happens?
Oh yeah, he died.
Yeah, you guys killed the devil, and he started to essentially burn away, leaving behind a few remnants of possessions, I guess you could say. But
You've done all of them, by the way.
But Tripp knew.
Oh, you can go fuck yourself.
Tripp knew that if you kill a demon or a devil on the material plane, and they are bound to the nine hells, essentially, they just get put back into the nine hells. To finally kill them off, you have to actually travel there and kill them. Am I cutting out really bad for everybody?
No, that was good.
All right, that's good. I don't want to have to punch my monitor. That won't solve anybody's problems.
No.
You're fine. You fine.
All right, so you guys are all standing in this arena. Tripp, you are demon still.
That is Demon. So after he tries to revive Edquist and it doesn't work, he flaps up close enough to the two guards that saw him transform, and I'm going to use Modify Memory on both of them.
Okay. Is that a saving throw?
I think so. Let me check it real quick.
All right. Let me get me dice.
While he does that, I'm gonna sift through the demon's belongings.
Okay, we will get to that in just a second.
Wisdom saving throw.
All right, for 2 guards. That is a 12 and a 10.
They both fail.
Okay. How would you like to modify their memory?
The only thing I modify is they did not see Tripp transform into the demon. They think that Tripp was not there, and the demon just appeared out of nowhere. Everything else can remain the same.
Okay. And then do you revert back or do you stay in your form?
I would hide first and then revert back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Brenna right now, by the way.
Growling?
Yeah.
And we will put Tripp back on the board. I'll say after you hid, you came back eventually. Brenna, you don't recall actually seeing Tripp transform, but you do find it kind of odd that this demon just flew away and now Tripp kind of meanders out onto the field.
Yeah. She's very suspicious because she was told that you don't have a vampire anymore. You have a demon standing there, so don't hurt them because they're on your side. And her beloved love of demons being such as it is.
Now, who told you that?
The voice in my head told me that.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't say that they were them, just that they were there.
All right, give me an intelligence check.
Oh, God.
Straight intelligence.
Sure, yeah, this will work brilliantly. She's so intelligent. She's like
I'm gonna give you because of the voice that was speaking to you before you regained control of your body.
Okay, this is gonna be fun. All right, so wonk. Ooh, 10. Wow, that's almost good.
And then roll one more.
Woo! Yeah. That's a 0, everyone. Wow, that was good.
I'll say with the 10, you have your suspicions that Tripp might be the embodiment of this demon entity that you were warned not to attack.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any solid proof, but
you're
leaning that way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she didn't initially care about the vampire side of it, but yeah,
right.
She will definitely care about the rest.
All right.
However, is Atticus on the ground?
Atticus is dead next to the ever-fading ash of this devil that Astonis is sifting through.
All right. As he sifts through that, Brenna's going to walk up, and she's going to throw her axe down at the feet of Atticus, and she says, "God damn it! Motherfucking son of a bitch!" And then she just kind of huffs and huffs and huffs and sit down on the ground.
Okay. Astonis, as you walk over to this devil, a lot of it is deteriorating and beginning to diminish into nothing, essentially. You do find a few different things. There is the skull left behind. 2 of the devil horns that were on the skull had broken off and are laying on the ground. You find 3 of its claws that were wrapped around this large, very, very large metallic mace that it was swinging around.
Is that the end of the list?
Yeah, that is all that is.
Everyone is going to see like the look of shock and just we just had a panel. We just fought you're gonna see that kind of fade away, and he's gonna look at the remains in the ground, and Tannen is gonna bolt toward them. He's like, "Oh, can I please study those? Can I please? Can I please? Can I please?"
I've grabbed all of them and put them in one of my bags of holding.
You motherfucker! You let me study those. This is my life's work.
No.
What the fuck? Like, no! You don't know.
We'll that later. We have other business to attend to, and I look over at Atticus's body.
Talon
Okay,
will
later. I'll hold you to that.
Talon will walk over and just stand next to where Brenna's kneeling, right by Atticus, and not saying anything.
Yeah, I'll walk over to Atticus also. I'll put a hand on Talon's shoulder.
Right, sorry. I lost my cool thing. I'll be over here.
Did Balin ever show up?
No, you guys came down here with a giant ass dragon, which, by the way, she reverted back to her elvish or elvish form. And you whooped this devil's ass before they even brought Balin out for the trial. Like,
Okay, I'll look over at the elven lady and kind of I'll kind of like look at her more seriously and just tell her that thanks, thank you for that. We suffered a casualty, and I'll look over at Atticus, but I'm pretty sure we would have all died without your help.
she regards each of you, and then she ends on Astonis, and she gives a very deep bow, and her, like, this aura about her starts to flare out, becomes very bright white, and you feel that familiar wind kind of gust pick up around, and when the light fades, she's gone.
I look down at Brenna and say, people are going to be here soon. We might. Do we want to leave?
I don't think we have any reason to leave. The guard saw the councilman turn into a demon. We're not going to leave without your brother, and there's shit that we have to do here.
Talon nods.
But I mean, I don't actually. I wasn't really paying attention, but does anyone remember what god or deity Atticus prayed to, revered, or worshipped? And what method of burial is needed for him?
From what I heard, it was Paylor. And I'm gonna like hold up kind of it looks like a baseball card.
I'll look at the card.
And it's like a very crudely drawn picture of, and it looks nothing like Atticus, but it's like how Atticus would be described. It's like, yeah, I was, it's a prototype. I was,
Did you make a freaking trading card of the character Atticus?
What I mean,
I'm asking you, Chris, not.
No.
This is Final Fantasy VIII. We have fucking cards with all our pictures on them.
Well, I was, you guys, your adventures seem so cool, and I was gonna, try to market them and hand them out and try to get some buzz, and give you guys royalties so you can continue doing your adventuring thing.
Okay. Brenna, sorry. If you and Talon want to deal with the burial, I think Tripp and I can take care of the talking part.
Tripp, by the way, he's watching all of this and is close enough to hear, but he's standing like somewhat far off, and you can tell he's not sure that he would be welcomed over there. So that is why he is over on the other side.
Do I see Tripp?
Yes. You just see that he's very apparently standing away from the group, and you sense hesitation.
Okay, I'm gonna cast a message to him, and I'll just say, Brenna is probably the only one that would care about what you are, and I don't think she knows. So come on over.
He's going to kind of glance at Talon, not that Talon sees, and send back, I'm not entirely sure about that, but I will come. And he starts to walk over.
As you start to walk over, you see Brenna kind of shiver, would be the way I would describe it, and tense up, but she's not looking at you at all. She doesn't say a word, but she takes her fists and strikes the ground as hard as she feasibly can. And she's muttering for a minute, and it starts to grow, and it starts off with, you told me you're gonna drink with me. We were gonna do something. Damn your eyes! How dare you die on me? You owe me, you fucker. And she kicks Atticus right in the side and then drops down atop of him and starts to cry.
Tripp's going to look at Astonis, since Astonis is the only one really talking to him. But he says this out loud. I tried to bring him back, but he couldn't come back. There was some sort of deal with death.
I don't know if he actually would have wanted to come back, but I'm sure the group appreciates that. Is anyone else around, Webby?
As of right now, throughout the battle, the Thieves Guild people that you hired, who ran out and essentially grabbed and dragged away the Chain Devils, you heard the commotion throughout the fight. Those are starting to die down, and you don't hear much of anything now. But you're starting to hear some guards shouting and coming this direction.
Okay, I'll just turn and kind of face the direction of where the guards should be coming.
Okay. After a while, a small line of guards come pouring out of one of the tunnels that leads up into the arena.
Is Balin amongst them, or are any of the councilmen among them?
One of the council members are. Let me get the name. Oh, actually, you met them, so you're not sure which one it is. But he is very much apparently a council. He's very well dressed. Stands out like a sore thumb amongst the guards.
So when the demon left the body of the councilman, didn't he throw off the body somewhere?
Yep. There's the council member that's up over the up left that is just lying in the dirt. And then there were 3 guards did a similar thing with the smoke billowing out of their mouths, and then 4 chain devils.
Okay.
And then the bodies of the guards are just lying on the ground as well.
Okay. I was gonna run towards that body, but I figure they might think I'm attacking it, so I'll just wait here.
Okay. Yes, I mean, some of the guards, after assessing the situation on the field, a couple of them go to each of the 3 guards, and then a handful of them go over to the other council member. And you see them checking the body, giving it a once-over, and then essentially lifting it up and carrying it away. Everybody, let's see. Astonis, you were actively looking at this. Brenna's more so crying. Who else would be looking at the activity going on?
I think Tannen would be like just kind of off to the side, watching everything unfold.
Okay. Talon or Tripp?
Talon's just staring down at Brenna and Atticus.
Okay. Tripp?
Yeah, the Tripp would be trying to look everywhere but at Brenna and Atticus, so he'd be
Okay.
watching.
So Tripp, Astonis, and Tannen, give me medicine checks. All right. As far as you all can tell from this distance, the other council member who was possessed by the demon does appear to be lifeless.
Were the guards who went to go pick up the councilman, were they talking at all?
Not really. There's like one guard that is giving out orders.
So like when they picked up the body, they didn't say like they weren't moving their lips at all.
Roll me a perception check. Well, no, I know what you mean. You can read lips, can't you?
I can.
Yeah. Then give this a roll to see which way he'd be facing. All right. You do know that one of the ones over by the councilman is telling the other guards that he's dead and to remove the body and prep him for burial.
Okay. I'll use message on the party or forgot, do I have to cast message each individual time to each person? I think I
As
do.
of right now, yes.
Okay. I'll tell Tripp for some time. He looks like he's looking and the other people are crying. Council member is dead. I'll also next thing you know, I'm gonna send it to Talon. No, sorry. I'm just gonna whisper it. They're all around me, right?
Yeah, if you're over by Atticus, yeah, essentially.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna say kind of whisper the council member is dead.
Talon will like look up and like look to where the body was and where the people are going then, but then look back down.
Is the council member that's alive coming towards us?
At this point, after seeing the other one dead, and then 2 of the guards of the 3 are also deceased. One of them is actually kind of coming to. And after they're all being helped off of the field, the one soldier that's coming to is actually being escorted away, and like you see he's not put into like manacles, but they did take his weapon and they're just kind of escorting him away. You get the idea, like they're not sure of what happened. But yeah, the other council members coming your direction.
Are the 2 guards that we sent who actually saw the council member turn into a demon, we told him to go like get the guard. Are they around somewhere?
The 2 members that saw were the ones that were up in the hole watching everything that happened.
Okay, cool. So they're not dead?
No.
Cool. Okay.
So
Yeah,
the council member...
Those are the ones I modify memoried.
Yeah.
Because they saw the whole thing.
So the council member walks up to you and he immediately notices the grieving and your deceased party member, and he just kind of lowers his head and acknowledges all of you. I'm very sorry for your loss.
I'll look over at Talon and Brenna and kind of give a little nod, and I'll look over at where they drag the other council member and look back at them, and likewise to you.
He'll give you a small nod. And, my name is Lord Throndir. It has been brought to my attention that Lord Ithriel was possessed by some entity, some beast.
Indeed. We have dispatched it for you, but it came at a price.
He nods. It has also been brought to my attention that the ancient horn has been blown by one of your party.
When he says that, I kind of like sigh, and then I'll look up at him like, yeah, that was me.
He turns to you and he just puts a fist to his chest and gives you another slight bow. He says, my apologies for not catching this situation sooner. If there's anything that I can do for any of you, please. It's the least I could do.
Where's my brother?
Balin. He's being questioned.
When he says that, I say, and I look at him kind of sternly, released.
You see him like hesitate for a minute, and he kind of like it's like he's trying to bite his tongue. He's not used to anyone essentially ordering him, and he regards you for a moment, and then he looks back at Talon. He says, "He's being released."
Talon nods.
We would also like our friend to be honored in an elvish burial. He died defending your city from what tragedy would have befallen it had this devil allowed to stay in control.
If you wish for him to be buried as per our customs, I'm sure we can arrange that.
The voice that you hear is very scratchy, I guess would be the word I would use. She goes, "That's not how you deal with them. You said he was a follower of Palor, didn't you?"
Well, we have temples dedicated to Palor in the city. That helps.
You don't bury someone who follows a sun god. God damn it. You burn him.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, Miss. I don't follow Palor myself, but again, the followers at the temples, I will arrange for them to do the proper procedures.
Where's the temple?
I believe the Palor temple is on the east side of the city.
With no other response at that point, she reaches down, and unless somebody stops her, she picks up Atticus. I'll take him. That's the least I can bloody well do for him.
You see the council member step forward, and like he has this chain in the front of him that is clasping a cloak behind him, and he unclasps it and kind of drapes it over the body that's in your arms, and you get the sense that it's less out of respect and more out of he doesn't want you walking this corpse through a city,
Yeah.
like in the condition that it's in, because
No,
it's rough.
pretty gross. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's fine.
But he also knows better than to tell you no.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
She looks at him and nods in
Um,
understanding, and she wraps the cloak completely around Atticus's body.
He'll look at you and he'll say, he'll give a whistle, and two guards come jogging up, and he'll look at you, Brennan, and he'll say, these two soldiers will show you the way to the temple.
Thank you.
He
The rest of you
nods.
can follow if you want, but I'm going there now. And she turns around, ready to leave.
Talon will turn and walk with her.
I'll meet you guys there. I don't think I should go to the temple looking like this.
Brennan nods at you and starts walking.
I'll look at the council member and will you allow us some moments before we? Well, I'm sure you have questions.
He'll nod.
And I will follow Brennan.
Okay. So is that pretty much everybody following Brenna?
I'm very quickly making my way to wherever I can wash up and change into my actual clothes.
Okay.
Tripp would follow as well, but he's again going to hang back further, like wait for them to get a little ways ahead and then follow them.
Okay. So essentially you guys are led through the city. And you understand, based off of this, the guards are avoiding heavily populated areas of the city. So, like, kind of taking you down a couple back alleys, but they're trying to do the best, most direct way there that they can.
Having wandered the city, Brenna understands this, and she's more than willing to follow their lead.
Okay. So once you guys exit one of the alleyways across a fairly wide or wider road, so you can guess that this is one of the main roads, is a massive cathedral covered in stained glass along the outside. Even at this hour, the sun seems to be shining most of it. The temple itself is almost too white. Like, with the shine from the sun, it's almost to the point where you have to squint or avert your eyes. Other than that, there's a lot of yellow and gold designs etched into the white. And as you get closer and walk in, there are two followers of Paylor up at an altar, and they're talking. And there are a couple other followers that are doing minor chores like sweeping here or wiping down different things. And the ones that are working all are singing some form of a hymn in unison to each other, very softly.
As Brenna enters into the temple, she has had time to sort of steel herself to everything, and she looks up and says, now here's a question. What would they be? She says, "Priest."
The two at the altar will turn to look at you. Yes.
I have one of your followers here. He died for us. He died for you, for that matter, you goddamn prick. And she says, I want him buried. Not buried. I want him to be treated right in the way that Paylor would expect him to. Not that he was a great big believer, but I think it's only fair since he's followed him so many years.
So the two, I guess, clergy or priests come stepping down away from the altar. They're wearing yellow and gold robes with a big, huge sun emblem on the front side. And with the whole prick comment, like, they heard it, and it essentially in one ear, out the other.
Mm-hmm.
But they heard you.
Yep, absolutely.
They come and
it's Brenna. This is how she deals with people.
One of them claps their hands together, and some of the other one duties come over and hold out their hands to take the body from you, essentially.
She waits until they have hold of it, and then she lets them grab it, and then at that point she taps his chest, and she silently said, well, not silently, obviously, because she's saying it, but very quietly she says, "May the lady be kind to you, my friend. And may you get drunk like you should all the time." There you go, lads. Take him away.
The ones carrying them, there's 3 of them carrying, and they carry him off into a back room momentarily. And the 2 priests regard your group, and one of them speaks up and says, as a follower of Paylor, we will give him the proper rituals and send him to see the father.
I only ask that you let me do one thing for him. Would you be kind enough to allow me to do that?
What is the thing?
I need to send him to Mother in the right way. Prepared, as you might imagine. Are you allowing me to leave him with some stuff for the trip home?
The one that was talking to you is just blinking at you, like in awe almost. And the more silent one kind of steps forward and whispers, and "Are you asking to allow you to do a ritual for your deity in a house of a deity that you do not worship?"
No, I don't want to step on your toes. I'm just saying, leaving something significant with him, not ritual. We don't do.
That's perfectly fine. I'm sorry if Patriot here.
No, it's fine. I'm not trying to step on your toes. I feel like he needs a little bit of something to take with him.
It's perfectly fine. If you'd like to hand it to me, we will make sure that it is with him during the ritual process.
She immediately turns on her heel. Is Astonis standing anywhere near her?
Yeah, most of you are. Tripp is probably near the back, and Talon is probably just jogging in at this point.
She looks straight at Astonis. Where's his liquor?
I don't know. Where's the liquor?
Are you talking about Atticus's?
Yeah.
All of his possessions are still on his body.
Oh, she saw him rifle through everything else. She just assumed he had his.
No, I only took his. I only rummaged to the demon.
Yeah, right. he only went to the devil.
Well, that's fine. Like I'm saying, Brenna doesn't understand that.
Also,
I'll point. Oh, actually, when she stares at me, I'll kind of put my hands around my pockets and look and tap, and then I'm like, "Oh, 1 second," and I go up to the body and I take the the liquor from his body?
Oh, the body was brought out back into a
Oh,
whole
well-
separate room.
Oh, okay. Well, he has it. I'm assuming. What would happen to our friend's possessions? I'm asking the priest.
You're asking the
Several.
priest.
Several.
All of his possessions, if you obviously brought him here, will be turned over to you or donated to the church, whichever.
We need to at least take his journals back to Alyssa.
We'll take his journals and his belongings, but I'm assuming, and I kind of like grit my teeth. I'm assuming he would want to give his gold to the church.
I put a hand on Astonis' shoulder. Like, that's probably one of the kindest things I've seen him do.
But we will take his belongings.
The priest will nod and he will
I'll
start
look-
walking back towards the back room to.
Well, before he walks away, I'll look over at Brenna. You want the alcohol for a reason?
Yes, it needs to be brought to me along with a cup if you have one.
I'm
I'll look at-
sure we
I'll
have a
look at-
chalice.
Thank you.
I'll actually, when he says, I'm sure he has a chalice, I'm like, can you bring one for each of us?
Sure.
Brenna, are we about to pull one out for our homie?
Side note, real quick, Astonis.
I don't drink, but whatever.
When you went through the devil's belongings and then you put them all into your bag of holding,
Yes.
the mace that it was there, you would have needed a few people to put that in the bag.
Can I just like take if it's on the floor, just like grab the bag and like roll it over like a sleeping bag?
This is probably taller than you. Like it's a large item.
He wants to know if he could have put it on like a body pillowcase.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm like, give me a second, hold up, and then I'm like dragging the bag over the base.
I will say that you have it. You guys managed to, but I'm giving you an idea of the fact that it is unwieldy. Like
Oh
it
no,
is
I
large.
figured I wasn't gonna use it, but I mean, I can always
Yeah.
study it, give it to someone in the party who could. I'm sure Tannen can wield a giant fucking mace that's taller than I am.
That would be fucking amazing.
So
I would agree with you flat out if he could do that.
after a few moments, one of the priests comes back holding several chalices.
Mhm.
I just heard
His
that several
flask,
hours.
I guess.
Mhm.
And then one of the acolytes, I guess would be their title, comes out with some form of a cart, and Atticus's belongings are on the cart.
I'll take a different bag of holding. I have multiple, and I'll stuff whatever is in there into the bag, and I'll look over at the group. We can discuss what to do with this along with the devil stuff.
Brenna reaches for the goblets, pours a small amount of the liquor into each of the goblets, hands them to each of you, and at the point of handing it to you says, "You drink it slow, boy. Do you understand me?"
Yes, I don't drink, but I know customs normally.
No, you don't understand. This will knock you on your fucking dick.
Oh, okay, guys. If Brenna is saying that it's gonna knock you flat, you might want to sip it over a couple days.
How much did you give each person?
Like I'd say
Like a
not
shot
more
glass
than-
worth?
Yeah, shot glass worth, basically.
Okay.
And then she pours an entire glass full, and she says, "That's for him. You put it with him when you burn him, Kay."
The priest will nod.
And then she pours an entire glass full into her, and she looks and hands it over to Astonis and says, "Hang on to this. It's got some weird properties you might be interested in."
Wait, the flask or
The
liquor,
flask,
or-
yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll take this flask. Wait, there's stuff in it still?
At this point, very little, but yeah, there's still a little bit at the bottom.
Do I sense magic coming out of the flask?
Mm,
Brenna
no.
has no idea, by the way. She's just making
Oh.
guesses.
Well, I would have checked anyways, but yeah.
She's
okay.
the least magical person you could imagine.
Since I'm standing there, can I do like an Arcana check to see if like she's handing him a magical flask of any kind?
Yeah, I ran Arcana also. I have advantage on detecting magic on items, but I don't think it matters in this.
Yeah, Tannen, go ahead and roll Arcana. There's nothing magical about it.
I'll just kind of like when I grab it, I'll like, yeah, it's a special flask, and then I'll put it away.
Humoring. Right.
So, Astonis, when you grabbed all of belonging the cart type thing, his coin pouch was there. Are you handing that over to the priests?
Like I'll hold on to it and I'll look at it for like a long time and just here.
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh my god, it's because you're giving me money.
I'll give you advantage because it's money based.
You took it. Are you gonna tell me how much he has?
No, it seems pretty heavy.
Fucker. Go in the wounds, man.
Do you open it and look inside at all, or are you just keeping it closed and have to?
No, you know what? I'll look in it first, just because I have to.
All right. Again, because it's money related, you're just literally eyeballing this. It seems somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 gold pieces.
And this is how we kill Anthony.
I hate you, Webby. You said he didn't have that much money. I hate you so much.
No, I believe last session I told you
What?
I told you he didn't have 11,000. I remember that whole conversation. You thought he had 11,000 gold. I was like, no, Atticus doesn't have that much.
A part of me is like, I need the money back that I gave him for the mercenary, the thieves guild. But I'm like, so you can see me visually like shaking my palm, and I'm like slowly closing the pouch back, and I'm gonna look up. I'm like, can I close my? I'll just look up and just whisper like, "Say I never did anything for you, man." And then I kind of I'll slowly hand over the pouch to the priest and say, let this be a donation under Atticus.
He'll reach out for it, and then once you give it to him, like his hand goes down a little bit, like he wasn't that much. He starts.
Can I be like? Can I just be like? Well, since I barely looked into it, like there's exactly 5,000 blah 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 coins in that pouch.
I'll tell you what. Let me see. Give me a either perception or investigation.
I'll take investigation.
Okay. Eyeballing it, looking at it, you quickly do the math in your head based off of weight and looking into the pouch. In the brief moment that you did, there is exactly 5,635 gold pieces in this pouch.
I say that to him.
He looks in awe at you.
So I expect my friend to have quite a nice ritual.
Also, is that all his money? Because didn't he have random like jewels and stuff that he was giving to people?
Doesn't that count towards the jewels? I'm assuming because he was just like giving it out.
Yeah, I think that gold was part of his jewels. His gold amount was including his gems and such.
because Atticus would have wanted to give the gold, but he didn't mention anything about the jewels. So
Yeah.
dibs.
So
Yeah, so I'll just hand him money and just continue to stare at it.
okay. The acolytes, two more of the acolytes, bring Atticus's body covered with a very thin white veil and rest it on top of the altar. You get the idea, like they took all of his belongings off to give back to you, and then they prepared the body. And they are going to start doing the rituals, the proper rituals. There are benches and seats and stuff if you guys want to sit down throughout the ritual.
If we're about to drink this, I'm gonna sit down. Yeah.
Was there anything else anybody wanted to do while they prepared the ritual and performed it?
Just let me know when they start the cremation.
Okay. As you guys look up and they're performing the ritual, you notice that at the very top of the steeple there is a large cone-based like stained glass again, and parts of it on each piece of the stained glass are part of the sun, so it looks like a giant sun on top, and that begins to glow, and a just singular beam of sunlight is cascaded down, covering the altar. And after a little while, more prayer, and they're about to set the body on fire. And you wanted to do what, Brenna?
Okay, as soon as the body starts to burn, and in other words, when the cup starts to burn and the alcohol starts to steam off, she looks around at the rest of them and says, "Drink it now. Now's the time." And she just slams back the entire drink at once.
Oh boy.
Webby, I'm gonna dip my tongue in it, and
Okay.
can I press the digitation to shave off like some of the effects of the alcohol?
No.
Okay, what about using a sleight of hand to kind of pour it in somewhere else without anyone seeing?
I'll tell you what, if you give me a sleight of hand check, you can attempt to pour your alcohol into Talon's cup.
I have a sleight of hand of 1. Give me a minute. Let me see if there's anything else I can do.
I'll give you advantage because Talon is not paying attention, trying to pay respects.
Fuck it. I'll try it.
Okay.
Ha! 19!
Yeah. You dip your tongue into it. The tip of your tongue kind of goes numb, and you immediately just look over and just spill yours into his cup.
Wait,
and then you tilt it back, making it look like you downed it.
Yeah, I was like,
what can I do? Can I like put my arm around Talon's shoulders, kind of like bring him in for like a hug and do like a cheers, and then kind of like pour it into his glass without him paying attention?
Sure.
and when he does that, like Brenna slams hers back, and like Talon looks over and I'm impressed. So he's also not looking. And then he takes his, and it's like, why is this taking me so long? I didn't have a whole cup.
I'm gonna like quickly pretend to down it and give like a mean looking grimace on my face.
Yeah, Talon does the same. He's a strong stuff.
So Talon, you're sipping it?
Sipping it, yeah, but drinking the whole thing.
Okay. Tripp, what about you? Tripp is muted. Tannen, what about you?
That shit's gonna kill you.
Tannen is gonna, like drink half the shot and then drink the other half of the shot.
Okay. And then Tripp, if you're back.
Yeah, Tripp will drink all of it. You guys keep cutting out on me, so half the time I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Brenna and Tripp. I need Constitution saves with advantage. Tannen and Talon. I need Constitution saves without advantage.
There you go. I mean, if you want me to roll another one, I will. But
You can.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So Brenna, you feel buzzed, but in that good warm way.
Mm-hmm.
Tripp, same thing. You've had worse than this, but it gets you buzzed.
Okay.
Tannen and Talon, you guys finish up yours, and everything starts spinning, and you guys pass out.
I never drink.
You pussy.
And you never will again.
Brennan looks down at both of them and says, I warned them.
You said to drink it slow.
So,
I'm gonna look over at Brenna and kind of like look at my cup. That wasn't too bad.
so the rest of
You wiggly bastard, you can actually drink something. Remind me to take you to the pub next time.
oh boy,
I'm gonna pretend to be drunk and like, if you're buying.
So for the rest for the remainder of you, the rest of the ritual and procedure takes about another 20 minutes or so. As they recite prayers from Paylor and go over verse. And then the two priests walk up to you, Brenna specifically, and one of them speaks up and says, I hope this is what you were wanting, I guess.
She nods and says, I think it's the best that we can do for him. I don't know. I don't know whether he believed all this shit or not, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, it's his God, and you done right by him. I appreciate it.
He nods to you.
And she kind of gives a bit of a symbol towards the god of death quietly to herself, and then looks up and looks at the rest of you and basically says, I need to go pay my respects in my own way. Will y'all be okay?
Yeah. Well, do you remember where you slept last night?
More or less.
We'll be there at that room. Actually, forget that. We'll be there because I doubt the council member is gonna want to go to. Hey, Webby, do we still have that room, or is that only for that night? Or
I think Atticus only paid for it for that night.
okay, we'll be at the high council room where I guess. Well, that's where I'll be when you're finished.
Make sure you keep the sleeping bastards with you then.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna take out my magic carpet and like roll them onto the carpet and make it hover a little bit.
Okay. You'd also have to be on it.
That's fine. I'll stand on it.
Okay. Brenna, before you leave, one of the priests, very gingerly, based off of your demeanor, very gingerly just places his hand on to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
I know he was a compatriot of yours, and obviously meant something if you guys went through the trouble of bringing him to a temple of his deity of worship. You being the one who actually carried him in, I know based off of your words that you don't either believe or worship the same deity, but I'd like to give you this. And he extends his hand, holding a small little metal token.
She kind of, you see her eyes kind of narrow at it.
think of it less as a religious token and more as a reminder
For a
of your
moment,
fallen.
She looks up and says, "Was this
friend."
his?" She sighs and kind of does a. I got nothing wrong with religion. I don't necessarily follow, but I don't have a problem with it. If this was his, I'll take it. I appreciate it.
It's about the size of a gold coin, and it is
Mhm.
a gold sunburst. So it's essentially just a gold sun.
Do you have a chain or something I can put it on?
Yeah, I'm sure we could find one. Yes.
Thank you. I'll keep it close to my heart. It'll represent him, if nothing else.
One of the acolytes actually comes up and takes off his own and hands you the chain of it.
And she takes it and puts it over and tucks it under her clothes and says, "Honest to God, I thank you. May your God always smile on this place."
He smiles, nods, and turns away.
And she does as well. And she looks at Astonis with not even a glint of a smile and says, "I'll meet you later."
Yep.
All right.
And Brenna walks out.
Astonis, Tripp, a flying carpet with 2 knocked out individuals. What are you doing?
Can I cast? No, that would be way too. That would not be my name. That's it. Okay. I'll look over at Tripp. And then actually, no. I'm just gonna kind of exit the temple, and I'll start heading towards the compliment room. And as we're walking, I'm kind of look over at him and kind of whisper a little bit. Not a vampire, huh?
So in your head, you'll hear, "We don't need to whisper. I can communicate in this manner."
Okay. I reply with, "You didn't answer my question."
I told you guys several times I wasn't a vampire.
You didn't tell us you were a demon either.
No, that's true. I didn't. Most people tend to not like demons, and I'm also kind of, well, I was incognito for reasons.
The demon that we fought seemed to know you.
Only because Talon told him my real name.
You guys hear a soft chuckle. Astonis, it's technically from behind you. And if you turn and look, it's Bale, and he's sitting on the flying car. He's sitting on top of Talon.
Yeah, I figured that was him. I don't turn around and I just kind of say out loud, "Comfortable?"
Well, he's a little bony, but yeah, I've had worse. So, Tripp, you kind of ousted yourself to your friends here, huh?
I mean, you weren't doing anything to help. But he says it with a smile, like a half smile.
Well, I mean, you guys had it under control. Besides, Astonis, was it? Yeah, of course it was. He pats you on the shoulder. He's less demon than you think.
Oh, I don't care. Brenna might, but I don't care. I mean, you've seen the way I treated. You obviously know I don't. I mean, I don't treat you with any hostility.
Well, I would hope not. And he kind of gives you a nod towards your arm.
Yeah, Tripp will actually tap you on the arm above the symbol that's burned there, even though he can't see it. And he'll say, "Well, I knew you'd be the only one that wouldn't care, but I couldn't let anyone know." And
Wait, there's something on my arm?
yeah, your demon
Yeah.
pact with Bale.
Oh, right.
You made a pact with Bale, yeah.
I know. I forgot that was something on my. I forgot that was where it was located. I was like, yeah, but I didn't really have a problem with you beforehand.
Right. Which is why I liked you more than most everyone.
Yet you forgot my name, and I kind of just shake my head.
Please, I was only kidding. I never forget a name.
That makes sense. So I believe
Hale and I are old friends, I guess you could say. I mean, as much as two demons can be friends.
He rolls his eyes at friends.
I believe you said. I think you made a deal with Atticus. I'm talking to Vale, that you would provide assistance.
Yeah, if needed.
Pretty sure he would have needed it.
Well, you got me there. The majority of your party survived. The devil was dealt with. You guys were on a roll. How was I supposed to know he would do that right there at the end?
Please don't tell me you didn't see that coming.
I mean, devils are unpredictable. I really thought he was going to leave. I guess he kind of kicks Talon, who's unconscious. I guess this one kind of stopped that from happening.
Yeah, that one is surprisingly useful.
Yeah.
No, Mom, I don't want any more cookies.
Man, even when he's passed out, he talks too much.
Well, yeah.
Well, I just wanted to come and congratulate Tripp on ousting himself. And hopefully your other party members don't attempt to send you back to the abyss, because I don't think that's going to work the way you hope it might.
They can't send me back to the abyss.
Yeah, I know.
What about Alyssa?
Alyssa is back in Cairn. Again, she's going to need some sleep. I.e., she's kind of in a coma. It'll wear off. She just overexerted herself.
How long will it take?
He shrugs.
Talon reaches up to scratch his back and accidentally smacks Bale in the face.
Tripp, he smiles at that, and then his smile fades. Bale, is what that devil said true? My brother is Abraxas dead?
When you ask that, Bale, like, whenever you speak to Bale, he usually keeps eye contact with you. Like, he gives you that sense of acknowledgement out of respect. When you're asking that question, he looks down.
Tripp will actually turn completely away from him and kind of just stare off.
If it helps, I had pulled every favor I had with other demons to assist your brother. Last I heard, none of them made it out.
So he takes a deep breath. Thank you for trying, Bale.
He just kind of gives a dejected nod. Like, you get the sense, like, based off of your guys' interaction in time, that he feels like he should have been there himself, but due to his interactions on the material plane, he just pulled together every favor he had, which still no small feat. That's literally what demons work with.
Yeah.
And you get the sense like he's sad that he wasn't there, and he's also sad that he's now essentially broke. Like, he has nothing now as far as sway over other demons.
I feel like Astonis would know the look of someone who just lost a lot of like valuable shit and kind of like gives them a kind of like sympathetic look.
Astonis just gives him the same.
Yeah, I know what you mean, guys. I just gave away 5,000 gold.
Exactly, 5,600 is whatever gold.
But
Um,
so Bale just looks down.
So Tripp turns back around. He's actually got like there's a tear coming down his face. He angrily like wipes it away, and then he looks at Bale and he says, "With Abraxas gone, there's no one else to run my house. If any of it remains, it's yours. Whatever can help you."
I'll let my number 2 know. He's currently dealing with my position of stuff back there while I stay on the material plane. So
3 members of the council left as well. Not that I care about the council, except for you.
Yeah, the Devils, they did a number on us. I have 2 of the 3 remaining council members in high on different planes. The third, I kind of hope the Devils get a hold of him. He gives kind of a weak smile. Oh, I hear typing. Furious typing.
I can hear you again. I couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Oh, he was just saying that 2 out of the 3 other council members he has hidden on different planes.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, he kind of hopes that the Devils get their hands on him.
Ah.
So 4 members of the Demon Council. Writing down for my notes.
Well,
There was more than that.
Count Tripp, but he's not really a member anymore.
Yeah.
Also, I can't hear any of this.
You're unconscious.
Yeah.
Can I make sure like he's on his side so he doesn't vomit on himself and die?
Too late.
No,
threw up
he's
all over
actually
the carpet.
he's actually on his back, and Balin's sitting on his stomach, or Bale is sitting on his stomach, just kind of bouncing up and down, trying to get him to vomit.
Our
That probably doesn't look good.
I don't
Hey,
care.
Dale, we might need him, for our shared goals,
Yeah. Well,
Kinda hard for him.
he drank a lot, which is why he's passed out. So if he vomits, the alcohol.
Blah!
Seems simple.
Throw up on Bale.
Yeah, but then he'll choke on it once he throws out, or more relevant to you, he will vomit on you. So
Well, press the digitation, the vomit off, and put it back on Talon's face.
Talon smacks his lips.
like I was good. You can see that Asaf was gonna argue, and then like, good point. All right.
Tripp kind of shrugs. He's like, if he chokes to death, I can bring him back as long as he doesn't refuse like Atticus.
Tripp, because Astonis, you're not really paying too much mind because you're riding the carpet. Tripp, roll me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Where is my perception? There it is. 28.
That's persuasion.
Oh, that is persuasion. I thought that was awfully perceptive. Can I persuade you to let me keep that? 22.
No, but 22 works. As you guys are having this conversation, he just puts the puke back on Talon. As weird as it is, because Bale doesn't have pupils. He has pure red eyes, globes for eyes. But you can tell like he looks off to the side, and his ears kind of perk up like he just heard something, and he quickly jumps down off of the carpet, and he just gives both of you a wave, says, "Well, I need to go, and I will be in touch." And he opens up a gateway that is almost pure fire, walks into it, and it just snaps shut.
So I'm gonna, after he just vanishes out of nowhere, I'm gonna look in the direction that his eyes flickered when he did that.
You don't see anything. Give me another perception. Give me an investigation check since you're actually kind of looking for something.
18.
So you don't see anything. He's looking to the east, and all of a sudden you start hearing like a very soft, high-pitched whistle sound, and it's just barely audible. And as you start to focus in on it and try to determine its location, specifically which direction it is, it starts to get louder, and then it gets louder to the point where you're having a hard time thinking. And like if Astonis is talking to you, it's almost drowning out surrounding noises.
Okay. Well, Tripp is like almost yelling then. Astonis, do you hear that? I don't know if he does, but
Do I hear it?
No.
I'm gonna use message since he's shouting at me. I'm gonna message and say I don't know what you're hearing. Where is it coming from?
so he's kind of like covering his ears, I guess, trying to block it out, but he takes one hand away and kind of points in the direction.
Yeah, it's starting to get painful.
Can I look in that direction? Is that the direction we're heading towards, or?
No.
Can
You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. No one around you is doing anything. Like, there are just people walking in the streets. You're not sure what it is that Tripp is hearing, I guess.
I look at it. I'll message him. I don't see or hear anything.
Tripp, you're barely able to hear even his message, and that's directly to you. Like,
yeah, I mean, he was probably like down on his knees on the ground, like trying to, like holding his head.
Roll me a Constitution save.
Webby, can I roll? I don't know if it'll be Arcana or History to know if I know about any sounds that would affect demons like this.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me history. Tripp, take 8 psychic damage.
Never mind. I don't get.
You're not sure.
Okay. Wait, does my magic stone give me advantage, or is that only for magic?
That's for sensing magical things. Astonis, you're beginning to, as you're looking, you notice that he has some blood coming from his ears and a little coming out of his nose now.
I don't have any. Well, I don't have any ways of helping you, buddy.
So since this is getting worse and worse, Tripp's going to try to use what the hell is it called? Gaseous form to burst into smoke, hoping that if he doesn't have ears, it will not affect him.
That's not gonna work. I messaged you and you couldn't hear.
As you attempt to, your spell fizzles. You're incapable of changing form.
Okay.
Give me another Constitution check. Save.
Okay. It's even better.
All right. The pain is it's not increasing. But your vision begins to get foggy around like your peripheral vision. And after a couple moments, you lose your eyesight.
Oh, goody. So he's just telepathically, he's just going to throw it at Anthony.
I like to think even telepathically you're yelling.
Yeah, like in your brain, you're, Astonis, I've gone blind now. I'm going to try to get away from here. And I start moving away, trying to move away, even though I can't see. Like stumbling.
I want. Okay, so he pointed to the east, right? When you said when I said like, where's the sound coming from?
Yep.
I'm gonna push him towards the west, I guess, to kind of help guide him.
Okay. As you look, his eyes are fogged over white.
Okay, if Zydane's with us, I'm gonna look at him and say, Zydane, make sure he's safe.
And you guys are walking west, moving
Well,
west.
I'm not going with them. I guess I'll stay with them. Actually, just stay on the carpet, and I'll urge the carpet to fly a little bit faster in the opposite direction of the east.
Okay. Tripp, give me another Constitution save. Amongst the ringing noise that you're hearing, that's causing you immense amount of pain. It's like your head is. You hear a voice calling out, and it's just saying your name, just saying Tripp, and it sounds urgent. And you recognize the voice. It sounds like Zeke's voice.
Okay.
And then you pass out.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to end the episode. So now you have Astonis with a magic carpet full of passed out people.
I'm
Nice.
rich!
I'm rich.
This has been a Distractions Media production. To find out more about the things we do, visit our website at www.distractionsmedia.com. Did you know that many of your Distractions favorites also appear on Fate of Heroes? See what kind of wacky hijinks the Distractions crew get up to as superheroes in New Saint City. Now in its third season, our intrepid heroes are trapped in the past trying to make their way back to their own time. Just search Fate of Heroes in your podcast app.
Did you know that Distractions has its own Twitch channel? You can actually find everything that we're doing and all of our various streamers at twitch.tv/distractionsmedia. Check us out, won't you?